What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at some Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Target exclusive figures of the Range Trooper and Jedha Patrol Trooper. So we get the Range Trooper from Andor, which looks cool. So it looks pretty much like the Range Trooper we've had before. Of course, we'll look at a comparison to see what is different, what has changed, but I assume most is going to be the same. But as we saw it appear in Andor, it does fire like the rocket launcher, so we do get that rocket launcher included as well. Of course, get our artwork there on the side for Andor and a little bit of the story there on the back. So that just looks cool for that Range Trooper. And then we have the Jedha Patrol Stormtrooper, which just kind of looks like a Stormtrooper, just does have the pauldron, so it could be like a commander, comes with the cool gun and the backpack piece. We've already pretty much had this before. It may just be pretty much a re-release there, but looks good. And of course, get a little bit of the story there relating to Rogue One. So cool, we get Rogue One and Andor here together, but just looks cool with both of those figures. So I'm excited to check them out. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So starting off with the Range Trooper that we see in Andor. Of course, the Range Troopers are tough soldiers equipped with specialized Vambrace armor that operate in rugged, cold environments on the frontiers of the Galactic Empire, and they wear heavy armor equipped for cold weather with a chest plate and fur. So they look pretty cool. Of course, we've had the Range Trooper in the past that we got from the Solo series, which was a really cool figure. So we get it pretty much here again. The only difference is like the whole boot design is different. I'll show you that, but still looks good. So we get the helmet design there. Of course, we've seen that helmet design, looks like other ones we've had before, just all in white. I love like the gold visor there, whatever's going on with it. That looks pretty cool. Then we get the fur around the neck. So this little piece of fur material here is pretty nice. It feels all nice and soft and everything. Stuff on the back there going into the chest plate. So again, that's probably keeps them warm there in the center, along with the heavy coat that looks like it's going to have fur on the inside as well. Of course, it's just plastic here, but looks fur-like design with a big belt here around the waist with big pockets. And of course, some of that jacket hanging down. You can see where it's supposed to be the fur underneath there as well. Then we get the legs, so get there whatever they're wearing with more armor design, probably getting stuff to keep their legs warm and everything, all the way down to the boots, the big heavy boots there as well that look pretty cool design wise for that as well. So overall, just like the look of the Range Trooper, so this is another good one. But movement-wise, we get that'll twist around. Of course, you'll get that fur all moved around, so we'll have to get that readjusted. But yeah, the head will twist around, look down that far, and look up that far, so just a little bit of range in there. Then the shoulders will come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. Get the single elbow joint towards 90 with rotation, and the wrist will twist all the way around. Of course, getting stuck on like the fur pieces there, so it's hard to do, and it has a hinge up and down hand. Then we get the ab crunch, so just a little bit of crunch back and forth, and mostly twist there around at the waist. The hips will come up, of course, with all the fur and everything. Don't really get too much, just that far and out to the side. There's a thigh twist up in there, and the single knee joint that bends back with rotation. Then we get the foot that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So decent movements overall. Of course, it starts with the single knees and elbows, so not the best range, of course, and with his outfit doesn't help with that either. But for weapons, as we see it in Andor, it appears with a rocket launcher, or a smart rocket launcher as it's labeled. So with this nice big rocket, looks pretty cool that we can try and put this in his hand. I don't think it'll hold it too well, but we can at least try it. So there you can't really get the rocket posed up on his shoulder because the arm doesn't bend enough to really get it to go up on the shoulder there, but we can just kind of have it hold it and maybe try and put this other grip in his hand. So maybe hold on to it like that is how we can sort of get him posed up with it or something. Like I said, doesn't really work out the best and not the best use. So again, they just kind of gave a cool weapon without knowing if he could really hold it or not, but that's probably the best you can do. And as I mentioned, we've had the Range Trooper in the past. Again, this is the Solo version, so everything's going to look pretty much the same, not much different. Like I said, it does have the different boots because it has like the gravity boots or whatever on here to stick to the train, so we get that difference. So you can see the difference with the boot designs there, but otherwise should look the same. Of course, this is different coloring with the splatters and stuff on it, so a little different effects on it there, but otherwise it's going to be the exact same figure pretty much. So really cool to have this version of the Range Trooper. And then we also have the Jedha Patrol Stormtrooper, which are specialized stormtroopers that are trained and equipped for desert operations, such as on Jedha. And their armor is augmented with cooling fans, and helmet has a sand filter. And they're also equipped with survival backpack stocked with rations and water. So it looks pretty cool. Of course, this version just looks like a stormtrooper, just has the pauldron on more for, I think it's like a commander or something, with the orange color pauldron there off to the side. But other than that piece, it just looks like, the normal stormtrooper. So nothing real surprising with our Stormtrooper helmet that looks good. Of course, nice classic design for that. And our Stormtrooper armor there all in the white plasteel with our black body glove underneath that you can see through it. So it just looks like your normal Stormtrooper otherwise. But movements, the head will twist all the way around. Look down that far and up that far, so just a little bit of movement there. Shoulders will come up to 90, a little stiff there, but up to 90 with the butterfly and rotate around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with rotation. We get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and flex up and down for this hand. Then we get the ab crunch, so crunch back and forth and twist around. And then the hips will also come up to the side there, out to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist and the single knee joint that bends back to 90 with rotation. Down to the foot that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So the same movements as all our other Stormtrooper figures. Now we do get the accessories that come with them. So like I said, we get the backpack, which also looks like it's got some sort of communication. I couldn't find much about this, but you know, we get the extra big backpack and then has all this stuff. So again, not exactly sure what the function is. And then of course we get the antenna as well that we can pop in here. So some sort of communication device going on. So especially being out in a desert planet, you know, need extra range and stuff. So long antenna there to attach with it as well. So we can put this on his back. So there he's got the backpack on, and then he comes with the gun. We got the last one as well as the DLT-19 heavy blaster rifle. So this longer gun we can put into his hand. So it can hold on to the gun like that as well. So that looks pretty cool for the Jedha Patrol Stormtrooper. Now, unfortunately, we have already had this for like pretty much the exact same figure. So they just re-released it. I'm not exactly sure why or anything, but you know, all the movements and everything are going to be exactly the same. But you get the same backpack, all the same designs, same guns and everything. So we've already had it once before, unfortunately. So, you know, kind of stinks we get the same figure once again, especially with no real changes at all to it. But it is cool just to get the figure because I like the design and stuff. And you can easily take the backpack off and just use this as a sand trooper if you want or whatever, but it looks pretty cool overall for our Jedha Patrol Trooper. Well, that's going to be it for our two Star Wars Black Series Target exclusive figures, where we got the Range Trooper from Andor and the Jedha Patrol Trooper from Rogue One. So both of these figures are really cool. Like the Range Trooper a lot just because I love their look overall, and then it comes with a big rocket launcher, although I wish it would just hold it a little better. And then the Jedha Patrol Trooper, like I said, unfortunately we've already had it before, but it still looks good and just a nice Stormtrooper design you could use for just about anything. So let me know what you thought of these two figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like and hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.